Hello, everybody. Thank you for all the love and support that I've had over the past week. You have all been incredible. And this is sort of a wrap-up video about the Suesmith, Stef the Alternerd, Paula M saga. I'm not saying this is my last one ever, but it depends on what other people put out. But this is, I'm sort of intending this to be my last one. So I'm going to be replying to some of the comments that I've received, and it's just sort of a wrap-up video because I know a lot of people who subscribe to me were very interested in this situation and very concerned, and there were sort of just some things that were left a little bit in the air, and I felt that people felt that they couldn't get closure on certain things. Yeah, so some things are still a little bit obscured, and people needed a little bit of closure. So the first comment that I'll make is that I do think that when Sue and Stef spoke about the birth certificate being obtained illegally by Paula M, I do believe that that was a mistake that they made. Things at that time weren't black and white, but once they became aware that they had made a false accusation of Paula doing something illegal in requesting the birth certificate, my view is at that stage they had an obligation to set the record straight publicly. Both of them said they apologized privately. Publicly is where they said she did something illegal. Publicly is where they should have withdrawn that comment. And that was really why I got involved in the whole thing in the first place. The other thing, I got a lot of comments about, oh, these people are only after money. Well, it is their jobs. I find no fault in them monetizing their channels. It's hard work. You know, I'm just a little baby YouTuber. I don't get money from mine. One day I may monetize my channel. I might not monetize certain videos on the channel, but I'm not monetized. But I don't mind if other people are monetized. You know, Steph gives me a cramp with always begging for sugar bucks. But you know what? I have a choice, and I chose not to watch her. One of the reasons was because she was always saying, give me the sugar bucks, sugar bucks, sugar bucks. So you can choose, people. You can choose who you watch. You can choose who you support. And when you support channels that are monetized, they're earning money from it. And that is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It takes a lot of hard work. I can tell you this. Any videos, any YouTube channel takes a lot of hard work. And I admire that about Sue and Steph and Paula and everybody else who's had a channel for a long time. It is grueling sometimes. And so, no, I don't mind if they make money from it. Oh, self-worth. Just this lady here. Yeah, everybody's got their own different styles, their own way of doing things, and that's good. That's lovely. The next thing that came up is that people said, oh, you're giving Megan what she wants. You're dividing the community. I'm not dividing anything, people. I'm putting out videos. I'm commenting on things that I've seen. And if that makes people feel divided, well, I can't help that. Okay. The thing that started the saga was Sue and Steph making their video and talking nonsense about Paula. Now, I don't know what else they said in the video. I only focus on that birth certificate thing because that was the only thing that I saw, okay? They said she did something illegal. She did not do something illegal. They refused to withdraw that comment, so it's out there in the internet. And they took a risk. They put the target on their backs. They started this. And yes, people say, let it go, let it go. Well, as I said in my previous video, I am actually a lawyer in my real life, off YouTube, and it offends me. It offends me when people accuse somebody else of doing something illegal when they did not do anything illegal. And it offends me when they do that publicly with hundreds of thousands of views and then refuse to withdraw that statement publicly. So that is my issue. My issue is that the law is important. And saying, oh, calling Paula and calling Sue and Steph out is going to divide the community. I don't care. I don't care about the community. I don't care if the Sugars are happy. I don't care if Meghan Markle is happy. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that saying that somebody did something illegal when they didn't is the right thing to do just because Meghan might get a kick out of it. I don't care. I don't care. What they did was wrong. They accused somebody of doing something illegal. They jumped off that cliff, and they need to bear the consequences of that. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that what they did was right, just because it might be inconvenient. Okay? The truth is sometimes inconvenient. Once they became aware that they had made a mistake, they should have unreservedly withdrawn it. Suesmith sat on Andy's podcast, Andy's live, and said, "I don't know what else I can do." Withdraw your false statement. That is what you can do. And if it's inconvenient that there's strife amongst the so-called Megxit community, I don't care. Sometimes the law is inconvenient. Sometimes truth is inconvenient. And I'm not going to lie to my viewers and pretend that nothing went wrong. I'm not going to lie to my viewers and pretend that that so-called apology from both Sue and Stef was an actual apology. I'm not going to lie to you. And if people find that inconvenient or unhappy, or it might benefit Megan, I don't care. Okay? I don't care. I care more about the right thing to do. And look, I'm not always right. I know that. I'm human. I can make mistakes. And I believe they made a mistake when they said Paula did something illegal. But they didn't fix the mistake. That's what I care about. Sometimes the truth is inconvenient. Sometimes the truth hurts. Yep. My oath is to the law. Okay? My oath is to the law, and I'm sorry if you disagree. All right. Now, and I've got great respect for avid gardener, Fiona, and I saw the video about, she had some recording of some sugar stirring shit, and she thinks the whole thing came from the sugar. I love Fiona's videos. I really respect her. My reply to what she's saying is, yes, the sugar might have started the whole thing and might have provided false information. I don't know. I didn't really understand the whole of what was happening in that video and the recording. I must say I kind of got a bit lost. The sugar might have started it, but the people who made the false accusation was Sue and Stef, and they never withdrew the false accusation. And while we're talking about Fiona, avid gardener, oh yeah, things, what goes around comes around. Somebody commented, because Fiona came into my live and asked a Harry and Meghan question, which I answered, and then I snipped that and I put that in as a separate video. And then somebody in the comments said, "Oh, don't think she came into your live with good intentions." Okay, I just want to squash that right now. I have been behind the scenes communicating with avid gardener for several months on something completely unrelated. I recommended to her to go and get interviewed by HG Tudor. So Fiona and I we're not like best friends or anything, but we've had this kind of backwards and forwards with emails and chatting to each other. And that is why she came on my live. She didn't come on my live to do anything nefarious or anything like that. She came on my live because I have been a big supporter of her content and her journey. And then this person on my comment said something about, but she's friends with Trevor Colt. I don't care. I don't care who she's friends with. Okay? She did not come in my live and cause a disruption. She did not come in my live and do anything mean or negative. She came and asked a really cute question about Harry and Meghan, and I did a read on that. Okay, so don't stir up shit where there is no shit. Avid is not anti-me. I'm not anti-her. And in fact, I'm not anti-anyone. I'm anti-people who misuse the law and misquote the law. So stop that nonsense right there. And I don't know anything about Trevor Colt or all that whole business behind the scenes with that. I've never got involved with that. I don't know anything about it. So some people don't like him. Some people do like him. I know he's been bullied. All of that. That is not something I'm involved in, and that's not something I care to know about. It sounds like old history anyway. Then if you want to know in great detail about the takedown situation, that my video that got taken down, I've done a video on that already. I will link it at the end of this video. But the very short rundown is suesmith didn't contact me. I did that review of her apology video and Stef's apology video. She didn't contact me to say that she had a problem with it. She just went straight to YouTube and got my video taken down because she said I violated her copyright. Besides having it taken down, that also locked my account and I couldn't do anything further. So I emailed her and I said to her, can you please withdraw your takedown, because I can't go and I can't upload any videos and I can't do my live, which was coming up the next day. I do a live every Saturday if you want to join me, or most Saturdays, and I do free readings for people. And in my readings are things like, people whose children are critically ill and somebody who's lost a loved one and that kind of thing. My readings, my weekend readings are really important to me because people are struggling and suffering, and I just wanted my account unlocked so that I could continue with my weekly readings. She refused. She demanded that I take down all my videos that I'd ever done about her. So then the process was I couldn't do anything further on my account until I did the next step in the YouTube process, which was to do a formal response. Okay, and so I gave her the opportunity to withdraw it. Before I did the formal response, she refused, unless I took down everything I ever said about her, which of course I'm not going to do, because when I stand by my word, I leave my word up. So then I had to do the formal response, which is no big deal for me, because what Sue didn't know at the time is that I am a lawyer and I actually have decades of experience in intellectual property. That's my field of expertise. So I did the formal response, and I knew that her strike could not be upheld. I mean, that's my bread and butter, is copyright. But I knew there was going to be a period of time during which YouTube had to assess everything and then go back to her and then give her the opportunity to respond. All of this, I knew it was going to take a little while. So at the same time, I just re-uploaded the same video, but instead of showing her talking, I put images of sharks swimming around. That was a little cheeky of me. So that would be less likely to be accepted by YouTube. YouTube wouldn't accept a copyright strike on that one because of the way that I did it. The first one I did show more of her talking, and obviously I showed her talking because I wanted her to be able to assess her own words. I didn't want to paraphrase. Anyway, so I asked her to remove the copyright strike. She refused. I then went through the formal process. I put in an appeal against the copyright strike, and only after I did that did she withdraw it. Okay, so she wasn't being kind when she withdrew it. She only withdrew it because I'm assuming she knew she couldn't uphold the copyright strike, because the onus is then on her once I've filed my appeal against the copyright strike. Anyway, so I filed a formal appeal so that I could do my usual programming on the Saturday morning, because my YouTube studio wouldn't let me get past the screen that said you've had a copyright strike until I had done that. So that was the history of the copyright strike. To the person in the comments on my live, firstly, who hijacked my live by trying to get into an argument with Avid Gardener in my comments of my live, shame on you. Shame on you. That is not the place to argue with somebody that you've got a historic beef with. I was there with people who had lost family members, who were grieving, who were had critically ill children, who had their mortgage reassessed and they might be losing their house. Shame on you. I was there to help people and to give them some comfort and some joy. Shame on you for coming in. And I'm sorry I didn't see that sooner, Fiona. I would have just completely blocked them. I didn't see what was happening. I was there to help people, to give them some spiritual comfort, to give them some love and some kindness. And to the person who also made the comment of something about me being a lesbian, because I'm assuming because I use the word rainbow in my username. Honey, I don't find that to be an insult, okay? I have a live and let live attitude. I have a transgender son. Born a girl, now a boy. So if you think that calling me a lesbian is going to make me sad or cry, my husband of 24 and a bit years would be very surprised to hear that I'm a lesbian. But anybody who's small-minded enough to think that calling somebody else a lesbian is somehow offensive, Well, I think you're living in the wrong century. Priestess of water. Oh, I'm a Pisces, so maybe that's me. Um, I don't care. I don't care what you think, but don't come and cause shit in my comments, please, in my live, because really, I'm there giving back to people, giving them hope, giving them help, um, because that's what I do, and I've been doing that from the very beginning of this channel. So yeah, that negativity, and I apologize to anybody who was on that live. It took me a little while to figure out that it was a troll. Next time I will do things differently. I'll have allocated moderators who can, because I think what happened is people try to block the troll, and they only block them from themselves, not from the whole chat. Anyway, I will do moderators. Rigid. Yeah, we mustn't be so rigid in our attitudes. I cannot sit back and accept that somebody should be not held to account just because they sometimes make videos that do not support Meghan and Harry. Does that make sense? Just because you're a Megxit YouTuber and you sometimes hold Harry and Meghan to account doesn't mean that you can spread false allegations of illegal stuff against others and not be called out. Just because the truth is uncomfortable. Does that mean we have to not stand by the truth? And yeah, I have no doubt that Meghan is laughing her ass off in her mansion as to what's been happening. I have no doubt about that. High Priestess of the Air. Yeah, she's the one. She's the queen of misinformation, isn't she? And I'll show you the cards that I pulled. Okay, I can't find it. I can't find the deck. But there was a card that I pulled in relation to this whole thing. And I think I asked what did Meghan think about it, and the card that came out was the card of joy. Oh, there's the deck. Let me get it. This is the card that I got when I was reading about this, about how Meghan is feeling about the whole thing. Yay! She's full of joy. She's soaring into joy. I don't care. If the truth is inconvenient and the truth makes Meghan happy, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say that somebody apologized when they didn't apologize. I'm not going to sit and lie to you and say somebody withdrew their statements when they didn't withdraw their statements. And the only, I don't really care if one YouTuber calls another YouTuber a liar. I don't really care about that. That's not my issue. It's saying that somebody did something illegal and then leaving that out there and saying, well, I apologize privately. Well, you've still left that allegation hanging in the air, haven't you? Let's see what else these cards say. Pull a few more. Stepping into stillness. Yep. Sometimes it's easier to be still and to be silent and not to say anything. And I got quite a bit of hate over this whole thing. And it was uncomfortable. But, I'm... As a lawyer, my oath is to the law. And there's a lot of things that others say that I don't agree with, and I don't care. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. But when you make a false allegation, that is when shit gets real. Oh, this is my Meghan deck. The cards are so clever. If you wondered if the cards are accurate, then this is showing you that the cards are accurate. This is Meghan, and look what the card says. I want to be queen. I want to be queen. Declaring freedom. Remember the freedom flight? So there is Meghan with her ginger pet in Montecito, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. Of course, I'm only reading the energy of the card, and Meghan wants to be queen. But you know what? We can't lie and hide the truth when it's inconvenient to us. Otherwise, we become just like her. We can't be hypocrites. Otherwise, we become just like her. And look, I'm sure there's going to be stuff I'm going to do in the future that I'm going to get wrong and people are going to call me out for. Yeah, that's fine. Absolutely. Put me under a microscope. I'm just as prone to mistake as anyone. For me, it's not the mistake that was the issue. It was the pretending they had apologized and when they never withdrew it. That's the thing that's going to make her queen. When we start making stuff up about each other, when we start accusing each other of falsely accusing each other of doing illegal things, that's the thing that's going to make her win. And I think keeping our community honest is going to well, we can't call her out for her dishonesty if we're not honest with ourselves and to each other. That's my view. Anyway, my lovelies, have a fantastic day. Hopefully this is my last on this drama, but you never know. Yeah, we'll see how things go. And I do wish you all a wonderful day. I'll pull a card for you all so that we can end this. We can end this with some lovely energy for you. I'll just clear all the energy, all the upset, all the heartache. And this is for you, my lovely dear viewers who've made it this far. There we go. Receiving from the angels. Shimmering wings of angels embrace me with love. And that's what I pray. Angelic love for every single one of you, even for Suesmith and Stef. They made a mistake. They can't bring themselves to admit it. They can't bring themselves to withdraw their comments. I wish them love and peace. I wish that they will realize in their hearts what they've done, and they will make amends. That's what my prayer is for them. But you know, it's up to them. They live the life they want to live. And then for everyone else as well, I really wish prosperity and goodness for each and every one of you. Thank you so much for listening.